Hello everybody, March 6th, 2023. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin's action here. Not much has happened. We've pretty much just been going sideways. I had gone over the four scenarios that we had on here, all of which are still valid for now technically. Leaning towards this scenario one though. That's what I said here. We don't really have an answer, obviously, because we've just been going sideways. But in the short term, I was looking for one more dump, at least to the 21.3 to 21.6 area, as long as we're below 22.750. And for now, we've remained below that. So that is still my assumption. As long as we are below that area, we should be getting down into that lower 21K area. And then potentially another dump down into mid 20s or low 21s is a possibility still after that. And then just to clarify, above 22,750 really doesn't guarantee anything. We would just be back into expecting chop basically at that point. So let's go over a couple different things here. First off, let's just go over that short-term scenario here. Been looking for a five-wave move down, potentially as a C wave in this orange wave 4, as playing out as an expanding flat ABC like this, where this is our wave 1, here's our wave 2. This probably isn't all of 3, we're probably still in the process of 3, and then we would get a 4 and a 5 as one possibility. And as long as we're below 22,750, then this would be playing out as a 5-wave impulse down to that area there. Now this is a very, very long extended 4th wave here. So I'm not 100% convinced of that any longer. It is possible maybe that this is actually the end of 3 right there, and we're doing this as a diagonal instead. And you can see with this choppy sideways action, eventually it's just going to hit that downtrend line and then reject one more time. That's always a possibility in that sort of more larger degree 4th wave there. This would be 3 here then, 4 and 5. So maybe that's what we're doing. It's unclear. We'll see if we come down and kind of hold this area here, that 21.6 area. Or not. That may give us some information on the short term, but as I said, this kind of extending this long at this point is a bit odd for this to be just kind of this micro 4th before that micro 5th down for that larger 3. So I'm not 100% convinced of that. The other thing that could be playing out is this could be a W, X, and Y. If that were the case, we would be getting an ABC, meaning just 3 waves down. So that's still possible as well. But regardless, as long as we're below this red diagonal trend line right here, I am expecting lower. How much lower, we're just going to have to kind of wait and see. But if we were to break above 22,750 and that red downtrend line, then it's possible that the bottom is already in here. There's definitely no strong indication of a bottom. This action right here is absolutely not a good indication of a bottom. We do not see any strong impulsive movements coming up off of the low, indicating that we are going to see a new high. There's nothing in this action telling me that is to be expected. So again, as long as we're underneath that downward trend line there for this diagonal, I'll expect lower. Even getting above the trend line, honestly, doesn't fill me with confidence because none of the action in here has been all that compelling. So definitely pays to just kind of stay on the sidelines until something more concrete appears basically. But all right, zooming out to kind of the larger picture, just want to go over these 2 possible scenarios. Blue scenario 1, 2, this being 3 and 4. This I'm not happy about. and that's why I'm leaning towards orange. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a possibility. This could be our A, B, and C. If we come down into this larger blue zone here, like 18K to 20.4K, somewhere in that region, that could be playing out. Although there is definitely a possibility that it continues downwards, and if it goes below 17K, it is almost virtually guaranteed to go down to 12 to 14. So that's kind of my line in the sand, is that like 17K region. Really should not drop below that, even in the blue scenario. Orange scenario, I do like a little bit better, although I don't really like this fourth wave now that it's doing this weird expanded flat thing, but this could be 1, 2, 3. I was looking at that originally as being 4, and then 5 up to here would have been perfect, but getting just to this region and coming back down is not perfect any longer. We do still need to strike that. So the only way to do that is by saying this is an expanding flat, ABC, as I said, right there for that fourth wave, and then still getting up to that area of about 26 to 28K. From there, we would then see another large pullback. So kind of no matter what happens here, I'm expecting lots of chop going forward. Ideally, it does so in the orange scenario. That'd be the easiest to kind of track and play along the way, but we will have to see which one of these ends up taking hold. Orange scenario is dead below 19.8, so that would make me very cautious, because again, I'm not 100% convinced that blue is even valid. So it's something I'll be watching for. Even if we break below 19.8, I'll be watching for support to hold somewhere in here, but I'm not super confident in it. So I suppose that being said, as far as risk reward goes, this is a pretty decent area to long with a stop below 19.8 and a target of 26 to 28. That would be a valid play for sure. I may or may not do that. Kind of depends on how I continue to see this play out as it goes forward. Because again, everything is just very, very choppy, and there's really nothing clear right now to go off of. So I might prefer just to remain on the sidelines for a while and wait for a more clear indication of bottom. We can always wait for a micro impulse to form. If we come down here and then we actually see a micro impulse form as a wave 1 of this, we can then long the pullback, and that would then be a solid long opportunity with high probability of success as well. So whether or not we get that remains to be seen. It can go up in a very choppy diagonal manner too, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, I think that sums up everything that I have on Bitcoin for now, so we'll see what the rest of the week brings. Hopefully we will see some sort of resolution and Bitcoin get out of this 22,400 region it's been in for like 5 days now. That would be wonderful, one way or the other. All right, I will talk to you all again on Friday.